Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lillian Judy, and I'm really excited because today is another episode of STEM Uncensored, and I have an amazing guest with me. When we talk about like mixing STEM with like everything else, basically, this girl, this woman, she does everything. And when I stumbled on her Instagram page, I was just like, okay, this is someone that I need to have on STEM Uncensored. So I'm really excited to have Brittany with me. Hi, Brittany. How you doing?
Hi. Hey, Lily. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you for coming on. And first of all, I went to stalk your Instagram, right? So she's Nigerian. She's a mechanical engineer. She's a physicist. She's a fashion designer. She's a content creator. She's the chapter president for Balsa at her school. She just embodies like everything. This girl is like a lawyer. Well, she's in the process of becoming a lawyer. She's an engineer. She's a fashion designer. Like, I'm just trying to catch up. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really excited to have you on.
Thank you.
Um, so I started by having my guests introduce themselves because the whole point of this is every guest of mine is someone who is in STEM. But I'm trying to peel back the layers of who you are as a woman in STEM, but I want to explore who you are beyond that, right? So tell me who Brittany is without your accolades and engineering and anything else. Like, who are you, like, at your core?
Whew. every,
I
time
know it's
someone,
deep.
every time someone asks me that, I'm like, whew, it's a lot. It's a lot, but then I'm not a lot at the same time. But honestly, the way I can just, I guess, encompass everything that I am and just everything that I do and all of that is just by saying I'm Brittany and I'm just a child of God. That's because I feel like it just encompasses everything.
Yeah.
Everything that I do is through Him and from Him. So that's the best way to summarize everything.
That's the first, honestly. Like, I feel like people delve into I am compassionate, I'm this, I'm that, like the non-technical, I guess, aspects of your life, but you just summed it up as a child of God that has like different layers and has so much depth to it. Because likewise, I'm also Christian and I'm a child of God. And I just want to know, like, where does that come from? Did you grow up in like faith? How did you kind of develop such a strong relationship with God?
So my family, we grew up Christian, but we were extremely casual Christians. So we would go to church on Sundays out of honestly routine.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't until my undergrad during college that I formed my own relationship with God. I think that's what's most important. It's
Yeah.
the relationship and not religion. And so thankfully, all of my family, we've eventually grew our own relationship with God, and yeah, that's how it started.
Was it like because this is very common with a lot of young people, well, young adults like ourselves now. Everyone kind of finds God
Mhm.
on their own, like once they start like adulting. Was there one thing that kind of triggered um that interest, or was it just like you feel like you just phased into like becoming um stronger, like developing a stronger relationship with God?
Oh, I would say it was just life.
Hmm.
Sometimes you're just walking through life and you just feel empty. You don't know why you're feeling like that. You don't know why you're feeling like, what's next? Why am I here? And it's because you're missing something, and that's God. And
Yeah.
so from there, that's what allowed me to find God, start going to church, and just developing my own relationship, and just knowing that I have someone there through all my hardships meaning those engineering classes, because those are no joke. Those
Child. Listen.
are no joke.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just experience and just going through life is what prompted me to um, develop my relationship with God.
Hmm. Okay. So let's go back a bit. How was your how was growing up like? What was it? What did it look like? Where was it? And what do you remember about your childhood?
Mhm. So I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm a Houston hottie.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm from Houston, Texas, but of course I'm Nigerian. And growing up, I was really close with my siblings. I was really like my parents were really overprotective, and so we had no choice but to be close with each
Mhm.
other. And from there, I don't know, we just found things in the house that can entertain us.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of got into engineering, because I was around the house looking for things to build, looking for things to break apart and put back together.
Mhm.
When you're with your siblings, you just finding what's around, finding things to do. And so that's kind of growing up. That's what I remember, just being with my siblings and entertaining ourselves throughout the house. And
Mhm.
um, yeah, just having that close family unit.
Okay. So have you ever been to Nigeria?
Yeah, I've been to Nigeria one
Okay.
time. It
Okay.
was quite some time ago though, but I've been to Nigeria one time. A lot of my family lives there, so I'm
Okay.
really in touch with that.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So let's get into my conversation with you. One question I like asking my guests is, what is one thing the pandemic taught you about yourself?
Ooh. Hmm. I would say that the pandemic really made me to unfold myself. Like there's so many layers to me, and
Mhm.
with life just moving so fast, it forced me to slow down and really get to know myself, really get to know all of my flaws, all of my strengths, and just to better myself. And it's crazy because during the pandemic I was quarantined by myself, and so
Mm.
I had a lot of time by myself,
Yeah.
getting to know myself and all of that. So the pandemic just really allowed me to get to know myself better, work on myself, and
Mhm.
just better myself.
So were you working during the pandemic?
Yes, I was working from home.
Okay. And how was that?
It was different. Initially, it was different, and then it was a beautiful convenience.
Really? So
Yes.
would you prefer like 100% like working from home, or would you want a hybrid situation?
Absolutely work from home me every single day. Like I loved
Really?
working from home. It was just convenient. I woke, even though I would say I made sure to wake up and shower, because working from home
Oh yeah.
you can get lazy and just roll over. And
Yeah.
so I made sure to have that discipline and like wake up, shower, and actually get dressed, but not dress, but like,
Mhm.
lounge clothes dress. So no,
Yeah.
yeah, I loved working from home. Granted, I did miss the community and just
Yeah, the connection.
yeah, the connections and stuff like that. But other than that, I was good. I liked it.
It's like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
What is one hobby that you picked up during the pandemic?
Ooh, that I picked up. Oh, I picked up gardening and planting. Yeah.
Mm.
So I have a little um garden thing going on, but the cold just
Oh
is
yeah, yeah.
it's gone. But but I was growing vegetables like tomatoes, bell
Okay.
peppers and stuff like that. So
Wow. You do a lot. Let me just say that.
I try to keep myself busy. Like I don't like to be idle. I like to.
Yeah. So with that, I know a lot of people, people who like keeping themselves busy, people who are always like doing one thing or the other, struggle to like take care of themselves. Do you make time to take care of Brittany?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. Honestly, I do. And sometimes it's too, well, I wouldn't say it's to a fault, but I do, because I know that if I don't, I won't give my best in whatever I'm doing. You
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
So something else I also picked up during the pandemic is working out and getting to the gym and walking, and the eating healthy part is coming. Don't worry, it's coming.
Also working on that,
It's in progress. But yeah, so just working out and staying healthy and staying mentally healthy,
Hmm.
to me it's extremely important.
So taking care of yourself looks like working out and eating healthy. Well, trying. Um, Anything else that you do? Hmm.
Yeah, so it's of course working out, take care of my body, and also taking care of the people around me. So making sure that I'm staying in communion with people that are around me.
Mhm.
So, calling my family, calling my friends, keeping in contact with my friends, um, doing just dialing back,
Mhm.
resetting, and just making sure that my mental is okay. Something
Yeah.
that I love to do is whenever I'm feeling like icky or just feeling, just when you just feel like it's like a just like
Yeah. I know what you mean.
there's no word, just
Yeah.
I always like to take a step back and just get to what's the root of that. I
Mm.
guess I'm just such a problem solver. I'm like, okay, why am I feeling like this? Is it
Mhm.
this? Is it that? What's the reason? And I'll go to that root and see how I can solve it so that I can dispel whatever feeling it is that I'm feeling.
Yeah. Interesting. So how was engineering school like for you? And where did you go? Where did you go?
So I went to Prairie View A&M University, which
Okay.
is about an hour away from Houston. It's an HBCU. I love my undergrad. Great university. Now, how was the actual engineering program? The engineering program was good. Like the professors were great and all of that, but it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. A 4-year degree program took me 6 years, so it was tough, but I got through it. I always say it's tough, but I'm tougher.
Yeah, I feel you.
So
And this was the mechanical engineering or physics?
mechanical engineering. Then I have my minor in physics.
Okay, I see.
Mm.
Interesting. But then your classes, because you went to an HBCU, it had more Black people in the classes, or was it still, um, were you still a minority in most of your engineering classes?
So I was definitely a minority in the fact that I'm a female.
You know, yeah.
But yeah, it was majority African Americans. There were some other nationalities here and there, but majority of the students were Black.
Okay. So did that impact, do you think that kind of skewed what your experience was once you started working in the industry in
Yeah,
regards to like diversity and like just the kind of teams you'd be working with and stuff?
yeah, most definitely. Because coming from that and then coming to this,
Yeah.
it's totally different. It's like whoa, which is crazy. Because honestly, growing up, I grew up in a very diverse area. The
Okay.
schools I went to were actually majority white. So even going to an HBCU was kind of a culture shock in the fact of I've never been in a school where there was so many like it was my culture. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
And then going back to what I grew up with, it was another culture shock. Like, whoa, I'm used to just having so many Black folk around me, but I think both are great experiences.
Mhm.
Very different, but great experiences.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're gonna play Never Have I Ever, and you can pull up your answers. Okay. So the first one is, never have I ever gone a semester without buying a textbook.
Ooh. So with these games, I like to be very detailed. Like,
Okay.
like I, I want to say I think I have.
You have?
I've gone a semester without buying a text. Oops, I don't know.
Okay.
I've gone a semester without buying a textbook.
Yeah. No, let me just say these engineering textbooks were expensive, especially freshman year. And then it has like this access code, and you can't really buy one without the other. Yeah. No.
It is ridiculous. It should be illegal how expensive it is. And then
All
half
right.
the time you don't even go through it.
I know. I really should have sold most of my books when I graduated, honestly. I didn't think fast enough. Okay. Never have I ever used ratemyprofessor.com to decide which professor's class to take. Did you ever do that?
No, I don't think I've done that. Usually I would just ask my friends, hey, what's your thoughts? Should I take this
That's
professor?
how.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just ask people.
Yeah, I think I was really shy in the very beginning. So when I found out about Rate My Professor, I was like, okay, let me use it. And it's really cool because it gives you kind of like the professor's strengths and weaknesses and how tough their classes are, exams, all these things. And so it was pretty cool.
Are the reviews accurate? I don't know why I feel like
Yes.
they're
Well,
accurate.
for the professors that I used it for sure. Like after I picked I selected which professor to use, I talked to, other people and they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy like either he's really tough or very easy." Like it really was like spot on. So,
I should have been.
I know if you're watching, please use that. um Never have I ever tried to talk during a Zoom meeting without unmuting myself. I feel like everyone in the world has done this.
In fact, I have a funny story. This actually happened recently. I was on a Zoom meeting,
Mhm.
and I just forgot to mute myself, and I was chewing gum, and I was chewing it loudly, and I was popping it because I thought I was muted. I'm just like, okay, I'm just ready to get off this meeting. I'm chewing it loud, and then I would hit the person talking was like, whoever's on the call, please, if you forgot
Oh
to
my
mute
god.
yourself, please mute yourself. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
okay,
no.
they mute themselves. I'm here, I'm chilling. I kept popping my gum, I kept chewing it, and they kept saying, please, we're trying to get through this meeting, mute yourself. And then it wasn't until later I was like, did I ever mute? And then I realized, wow, I
Wait,
did
so
mute
no
myself.
one even messaged you on the side to let you know, like, girl, it's you.
Uh-uh.
Damn.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. That's tough. Okay. Never have I ever secured an interview through LinkedIn. I have.
No, I have not.
Really?
Uh, Honestly, my LinkedIn is not even like updated, which is so bad because I need to update it. I think it still says that I work like at my university. I
Oh,
need to
okay. You don't, yeah.
I
I
need to
feel you.
update.
Never have I ever been in a blind date.
Now define blind, because sometimes you go on a date with someone and it's like I'm blind. Like
No, like
what?
no, you haven't met this person before. It's just been like conversations.
Um,
Yeah, no, I haven't
I
done
don't
that.
think I no, I don't think I have
Yeah,
been a
I feel like
blind.
even in this climate right now, it'll be really risky. Like
Word.
yeah, like I don't know you. I'm going by myself. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Never have I ever filmed a makeup tutorial. I haven't. No,
I
it's not
have
my thing.
have I filmed it? I haven't posted it.
Okay, we have.
I guess
That's
I
fair.
filmed,
Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't
I feel
posted
like it takes so much work. Like even just putting together like a regular like YouTube video, it's a lot.
it. It's
So trying to make sure the contour is good and
and then teaching people while at it. It's like more power to those that do it. I can't.
yeah, no. Never have I ever met an internet friend in real life.
Oh yeah, I've met internet friends in real life.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I met this one girl. I connected. She's also like a STEM content creator, and I connected with her 2020, and she came to Boston 2021. So she just hit me up. Oh, I'm in Boston. Do you want to meet up? And we had brunch, and it was so cool. Like it wasn't weird or anything. It was like I knew, like I've known you my whole life, basically. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
I feel like in this internet age, this technology age, it's not too weird to like meet people through social media or something, and then
Yeah,
have a go on brunch or something. Now blind date,
that's
that's
different.
just different to me. I don't know. To me, it's just
I
different.
feel like that can only work if we've been talking for like months, right? Or like even years. Then I'm like, okay, I feel. Even then, I'll probably go with a friend, honestly.
Yeah, and then you would have to have mutual friends. Like
Oh yeah.
someone has to know you. You can't be like a random person.
um, Never have I ever traveled abroad. I have.
I have. I want to go to more places though.
What are you? What place are you looking forward to going to?
Um,
Or what's number one on your list?
I have a lot of number ones. I really want to go to South Africa.
Mm.
I really want to go there. I want to visit just a lot of different African countries.
Mm-hmm. So like
Um,
just an African tour.
yeah, in
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah. I feel you. Mine is Italy.
Oh yes. Oh
Just
yes.
everywhere in Europe, honestly.
Yeah, the whole Europe.
The whole Europe. A whole summer.
Yeah.
Never have I ever started a YouTube channel.
Ooh,
We have.
Brittany Akudo. Like,
I
how
know.
married.
All right. All right. This was fun. Okay. So, how long ago did you start your YouTube channel?
So I actually started it in the beginning of this year. So January,
Oh.
beginning of January.
And what has that journey been like for you?
Whew, man, it's honestly, it's been a great journey. Like, I didn't realize how much I just love creating until I started this YouTube channel. But it's honestly, it's been a great journey. It is stress getting
Mhm.
dressed and having to, like, fix lightings and put things together. That is a
Right.
lot. But generally, I really like it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this, like just things, stuff like this, because when I started like creating like videos and editing and all that, I was like, wait, like, is it normal? Is it okay for me to want to do something that's not engineering, you know? And I feel like I battled with that like a while, just trying to accept that I'm not just this one person, just like engineer. That's just not me. You know, I have all these other passions that may not necessarily align with what you would expect an engineer to do, right? But just on social media now, you're seeing all these people, all these engineers or people, women, men in STEM, exploring, be it like communications, journalism, like different things, and it's like it's really cool. So I want to ask you about your fashion, right? Because you be making dresses. So please tell me where this comes from, how long you've been designing, and where you expect to go with this.
Oh, so I've been sewing since I was a young girl. I've been sewing for a really, really long time. Um, I love it. It's just, to me, it's a stress reliever. It was something that I also delved deeper in during the pandemic. I've
Okay.
always been sewing, but with having, just so much time on your hands, I was like, I started sewing a lot more. Yeah, so I started when I was younger. Um, the first people I seen sew were my sisters. They took a class, and they would come home and they would practice, and I would watch them do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, how are they literally making nothing into something? And so from there, I just started practicing, and I would make clothes. I mean, the clothes were kind of trash back then. I mean, I wasn't really like, I was so, I was starting, but that's how I got started. And yeah, I would just alter the clothes I already had, um and make more. And yeah.
So if you were to go back to the very first dress that you made that kind of like um brought this entire dream or passion to life for you, what was it?
that's
Do
a
you remember?
that's a good question. I would say, okay, so it was in high school. I took a fashion design class. I took fashion design. I took advanced fashion design, and I made shorts. They were red shorts, and they were like red highway shorts. And I wore it, and I was like, I can't believe I made this. Now, granted, it was for a grade and all of that,
Hmm.
but just the fact that I made something, I tried it on, and it fit me.
Yeah.
This was all just from, sewing. It was just amazing to me. So I think that was the first. I want to say that was the first, like, decent thing I've made.
You made, yeah. And I guess, what angle are you going to go into with the sewing? Like, are you trying to make like couture, high fashion dresses? Are you trying to make like everyday, like what is the vision for this?
Honestly, I want to do it all. Like my, I've learned to never put limits on anything.
Yeah.
So I literally, when I say I want to do it all, I want to do it all. No limits, and yeah, all that. And even speaking of couture, I made my dresses for my graduation shoot, and
Oh.
they, and the thing is, the day before, oh my gosh, I'm remembering the day before my graduation shoot, my sewing machine broke and I was not done with my dresses. And so I literally had to hand sew. Oh my gosh,
Ooh.
I didn't sleep that night. Oh, I had to hand sew the dresses that I made. If you go to my Instagram, it's the yellow dress.
Yeah,
That was the
I'm
last dress
trying to
I had to
find it.
finish. That one I had to like sew it by hand, and I was stressed, but it turned out cute. So.
But does your mom sew? Does anyone in your family sew?
My mom will tell you she can't even sew a handkerchief. Like she she says all the time. No, she doesn't sew. She wanted to learn. Like that's
Hmm.
something, like I guess that's why she pushed my sisters in the first place to take the sewing class.
Hmm.
She wanted to learn, but she I guess she don't have the patience to do sewing and stuff.
Yeah, no.
But
It takes time.
yeah, it really takes a lot of patience. It really
Yeah.
does.
Have you at any point in your life um felt like you had to put yourself in a box into like one career or interest? Because you're in law school right now, and that's a whole different conversation. Like,
Career wise, I wouldn't say I felt like I had to put myself in a box. I more so felt like I didn't want to put myself in a box, but I felt like society wanted me to be put in a box, or
mhm,
wanted me, or was, involuntarily telling me, oh, you can't do all that. That's too much. But me, myself, I didn't want to put myself in a box. Does
mhm,
that make sense?
mhm.
So
Yeah,
I would say it's more so just society, I guess, standards
yeah,
that feel like, oh, don't do, you're doing too much.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So at this point, do you plan on making your own wedding dress someday?
People ask me that, and as
Really?
right now, like me just thinking, I want someone to make it for me because I feel like just that whole planning is just a lot of
Yeah, it's gonna
stress.
take, yeah.
But knowing me, I like things specific, so I'll feel like I'm just do myself, and I'll just make it myself. But I mean, who knows? Hopefully, I can have someone else do it for me, so I can
Yeah,
be free, that day or whatever.
true.
Who knows?
So how do you balance STEM, design, and law school?
How do I balance it? Honestly,
It's God.
God. Because the thing about it is that when I think about it, I'm like, how in the world am I doing
Yeah.
all this and still functioning,
Mhm.
and still, like, going through and just like and doing it gracefully?
Mhm.
Honestly, it's God.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
God. And I would say God definitely um gave me discipline, because I feel like I wasn't always disciplined. I used to kind of just like, just whatever. But
Mhm.
until I realized, okay, I need to really just like, if I want something to happen, if I want to get to a certain place, I need to take things seriously,
Yeah.
get to it, and things are going to have to go, some things are going to have to come, and just prioritize and stick to that plan.
Mhm. So if because you're a content creator, right? And I don't know if you use any other channels, but I mainly follow you on Instagram. If you had a young Black girl reach out to you with a passion in designing and a passion for STEM, right? And she's asking you, what do I pursue in college? What advice would you how would you advise her?
Mhm. I would tell her if she wants to do STEM and she wants to design, I would say to go for a STEM degree first,
Mhm.
but don't lose your passion for designing. Still do that, still have that on the side. Um, for one, I'll speak for myself. Everyone's journey is different, but
Yeah.
for one, it'll give you a sense of security as far as purchasing the stuff, when you graduate, you get a job, purchasing the stuff you need in order to go forth with your passion, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Some people do the other way, and that's fine too. But if you want to go into STEM, you're gonna need a STEM degree. So you're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
to go into that.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
was this your plan all along? Do the STEM, then the law, in between put the fashion designing in there?
It wasn't my plan. No,
Just
it was
wait.
not my plan. A lot of things that I'm doing and I'm just on, all God's plan, all God's timing, and still continuing to unfold.
Mhm.
So no, definitely not my plan.
I see. So I want to ask a bit about the law school. What prompted you to go to law school?
Mhm. So while I was getting my engineering degree, it kind of just dawned on me that, you know what, I actually also have a passion for advocating for people.
Mhm.
I have a passion for, standing in that gap and speaking up for people and fighting injustices in different forms. I have a
Mhm.
passion for that. But I was already taking thermodynamics. I was too deep into the
You
I'm
couldn't get out.
way too deep. It was no way to start switching to political science it was no way. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let me, finish this, and
Yeah.
then one day, hopefully, I can go into that.
Okay. Okay. So what do you have an idea of what kind of law you want to pursue?
It's funny because not like being in law school and going through so many different subjects, your mind is always like, I think I want to do that, or I think I want to do that. Like, it's
Mhm.
always changing.
Yeah.
So honestly, I have nothing specific, like, okay, I must go into this,
Mhm.
because and the reason being is because just going through, like, like my criminal law classes, my contracts, my family law, like it's just so much to litigate. It's so much out there
Mhm.
that I'll probably decide when I graduate.
When you graduate, yeah, no, that's 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 something that I've heard a lot of people in law school say. So it's fine.
Mhm.
Do you think engineering school prepared you for law school in any way?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Hmm.
It definitely did. It did, in the sense of thinking on your feet, thinking logically, problem solving. Um, Yeah, it definitely did help, and that was something, like, when I was going into law school, I was like, ugh, I have an engineering background.
Yeah.
A lot of these people here, they're paralegals. They've dealt with a lot of just legally stuff,
Mhm.
and me, I'm coming from science. Like, how is that going to work? But
Yeah.
honestly, like, it works. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Do you envision yourself pursuing any other degrees?
I'm done. After I get this doctorate, I
She's
am
like, I'm done.
saying that now. Who knows,
I
But
know.
as
I
as of
know.
now, I'm good. I'm all set.
Okay. So just I guess one of my last questions. You what prompted you to start creating content on social media?
Ooh, it was definitely during the pandemic as well.
Okay.
It was something that God just dropped in my spirit to start. I actually talk about, like, I have my first YouTube video.
Yes. I
I
love that one. Yeah.
I
Good.
discuss of how my YouTube channel even came about, because it wasn't just one day, oh, okay, let me just put my camera and just start. No, it was like a series of things that happened that
Mm,
made me to start my YouTube channel. I definitely talk to God. I'm like, okay, God, I want to do this. I want to display this. And there'll be some things I want to do. Like, there's a lot of ideas that I have, and God is like, not yet, not yet, not yet. Don't do that yet.
mm.
Or there's some things he'll be like, okay, do this. And I'm like, I don't know if that'll hit.
Yeah.
That I'll still forth,
Yeah.
but I'll still go forth with it. So I'm always trying to make sure that I put God in this journey, and
Mhm.
because it was him that started it.
Yeah.
Um, so I just want to make sure that he is in the forefront of pushing me
Everything.
in
Yeah.
that creating.
Yeah, I feel you. I just want to say that you are someone that I wish I could have seen when I was growing up, right? Like this, no, seriously, like you're very ambitious, you're like a go-getter, and you are accomplishing everything that you put your mind to, and you're backed by your faith, by God. And I think it's so inspirational. And I hope that any young women who are watching this are like going to find you on social media, but they are seeing a visual representation of someone they can be. Because I think a lot of people either tend to shy away from their faith, a lot of people either tend to allow societal ideas and pressures to keep them in a box. But you're literally like, yeah, goodbye. I'm breaking out of all these boxes. I'm even pushing, going to higher heights. And so I really, really appreciate you joining me today. I really enjoyed this conversation. If you want to see a real life, gorgeous um, Houston hottie, engineer, lawyer, designer, you see her right here. And where can people find you? What's your YouTube channel and all that fun stuff?
Oh, thank you so much, Lily. I really appreciate that. So, you can find me on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Brittany Akudo. So, if you look, yep, Brittany Akudo. And also on Instagram, Brittany Akudo as well. Those are the main
Okay.
two things: Instagram and YouTube.
And can you share a bit about what your Instagram channel is about, actually? I mean, your YouTube channel.
Yes, yes, most definitely. So my YouTube channel, I showcase the clothes that I make while also discussing interesting topic discussions. So I'll kind of, just show the journey of how I'm sewing the stuff, and then I'll just model per se the outfits that I make, and then
Mhm.
while also talking about just interesting topics about life and just giving my unsolicited opinion about everything.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me on here. I love what you're doing. I love just
Yeah.
showcasing STEM, Black women in STEM, and all of that. We definitely need more of that. We need more people like you. And yeah, thank you so much for having me.